What I think makes OPED stand out different than all the other conferences, and as a person who literally goes to conferences every week and makes my living by conference attendance, it is a subject about which I know a thing or two. So what I think OPED does especially well is that it's, first of all, it's not only about operative. It's talking about industry topics that are affecting the industry, and that's much more important because then it makes it useful to the attendee. Attendees don't want to come and have things pitched at them. They don't want people standing on the dais or on the stage explaining why they should be using this and why they shouldn't be doing other. So people are actually talking about topics that affect people's lives. As far as the speakers and the moderators themselves go, these are people that are coming from the most influential industries, the most notable names within the industry. I mean, every single person that goes up on the stage is representing an incredibly large media company that's, far-reaching across, really the most important names in the industry. And then you have interesting moderators that are, that obviously are, in addition to being dynamic, which makes the content more compelling for the audience, know about which they speak. And that's a very difficult thing to do. If you help people interact with one another by providing opportunities for them, both at the show itself, meaning breakouts and things like that, but also at night where you send people into rooms, dining rooms, and have them interact. Those are the characteristics that anybody that's coming to any show should be looking for, and what I think OPED does especially well. So the reason that networking opportunities here are better is because of the quality of the attendee. It comes down to one thing and one thing only, right? And so when you are able to, through the content, have that cascade effect where people come to your show because they know that it's going to be an interesting show, where they're going to derive useful things for their everyday lives. You're going to bring out high-level people from major organizations. And then by definition and extension, the network is going to be good because you have experienced people that are carrying on meaningful discussions that are impacting the way they do their jobs. And that's what the importance of networking is. All networking events at OPED literally happen because you're put into a room and gently encouraged, to interact with other people. And the quality of the people with whom you're interacting is very high. The reason it's high is because those people are actually coming out for shows like OPED, where they're staying away from the other conferences, sending more junior people in their stead, junior people being less experienced and less interested in the covenant of these conferences where you have high-level people coming, understanding the covenant that they have, and having meaningful discussions with people. And that's the brass ring for networking in any event, this conference included. So I think what makes OPED particularly special is that you've got people with these amazing affiliations, the biggest media companies on earth, that are dealing with real problems and real challenges, trying to solve, for these things in this very complex environment, speaking very openly and speaking very candidly about these challenges that they're trying to solve. And they are hands-on switches people that are really dealing with these things on a daily basis. And they're not the exact same crew that you've come accustomed to seeing and no longer want to see. This is a new group of people from the same organizations talking about new topics in different ways. That's what makes all the difference in the world and keeps me out of the hallway and in the auditorium and actually at the event rather than wandering off somewhere else. Why I think OPED is kind of the perfect show is because it ticks all the important boxes of what makes conferences great. And it's just the right amount of time. The second thing is its size. It's the exact right size. It's big enough to be meaningful, but still retains its sort of intimacy and allows people to interact with one another. I think the content is absolutely top notch. I think people are talking about subjects that people want to learn more about. It's creating discussions that are leaving the auditorium and going into the hallways and going into the meals afterwards. The topics that were being brought up in the morning are being discussed throughout the day. People are digging into those topics and will take those topics home and discuss them with their coworkers and colleagues. And the people all seem to be genuinely happy to be here. If that has something to do with the venue and the city, all of those things are fine. But you just feel like, there's a palpable positive vibe around it. People are clearly enjoying the conference, they're enjoying the content, they're enjoying the networking. And so it really just sort of becomes the perfect conference to attend, and that's why I've been here. This is my fourth straight, 4 out of 5.